Okay, so I don't know how to start this video off. I don't know where I want to kind of take this video. This is going to be literally a chat between you and I, having a little conversation about this. I'm going to give you guys my opinion about what I think about the turmoil that Battlefield 2042 is going to be going through. I mean, it seems like every couple of days I make a video of like, hey, you know what, 2042 is going through this. Hey, 2042 is going through that. Hey, EA and DICE have their head up their ass. They have no idea what to do with this game. And it's funny to know that they are multi-million, billion-dollar companies with a multi-million, billion-dollar franchise. And it seems like it's their first time. They've never done anything like this before, and they just don't know what to do. And as content creators and players out there, you're looking at 2042 like a train wreck or the Titanic, because you're just looking at this going, oh my god, look at this majestic thing entering the water for the first time. It's gonna be sailing the seas, and oh dear god, it hit an iceberg. Oh, and it's sinking, and nobody can do anything. Nobody cares. EA and DICE sent this bitch out on the sea to let it sail the open ocean, and the damn thing's sinking, and they don't know what to do. So today I want to talk about a couple of things. One, I want to talk about how Activision, came out with this apology about the Call of Duty franchise and the way that game went. Vanguard came out and it just in a terrible state. People are not liking the way that Vanguard is going, and they eventually came out and apologized. Like, that's crazy to know that so many content creators, so many gamers have come out just griping, complaining about Vanguard, and Activision said, you know what? We're sorry. Holy hell, that's amazing. I cannot believe it. So it's funny to know that Activision can send out an apology, but EA and DICE going, F yourself, we don't care, we want to make money. So we'll talk about that. I want to get into this where, EA and DICE have these modes, these game modes in Portal, to where they're made by the developers, and they're pushed out as like these main modes to where people can create full unlocks on their weapons, attachments, and all that BS. Going through the different challenges and stuff like that, completing those, full XP. And the main focus is actually getting rid of these bot, farming lobbies to gain XP. They were really trying to hamper down on that in the very launch of Battlefield 2042. Well, the zombies mode that they released was a bot farming game mode, and it's like, how did that get out? How did that get released into 2042? What the hell is happening at DICE, and how does nobody know what the is going on? Like, in one hand you're saying let's end bot lobbies, and then this bitch gets through and it's relaunched. Now don't get me wrong, they took it down in 2 days, but it's like the left hand doesn't know what the right hand is doing over at EA and DICE. Like, what the hell is this? Last thing I want to say is this: we're gonna talk about the free-to-play thing, because I'll be honest, I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't, and don't get me wrong, I don't like it for the sake of it being, free to play, where people can play it, enjoy it, kind of similar like the Warzone and stuff like that. I hate it on the simple fact that I spent over $100 buying this game, and in its current state, it is just absolute trash. And EA and DICE are going, man, we need people to play this game. We need to make money off of cosmetics. How the do we get players to come back to this game? How do we get players invested? Oh, let's just make it free to play and F over all the people that spent money on this game thinking they were going to get a quality content game. And honestly, at the end of the day, to me personally, I feel like the people that actually bought this game and have kept it and never returned it are going to be the biggest losers out of it all. Like, don't get me wrong, we're already losers. We bought this game in the current state it is, but at the end of the day, when it becomes free to play, if it does, which it looks like EA and DICE are going that route because they want to make money off of cosmetics, we're going to be the losers. We are going to be the biggest losers out of them all because we spent over $100 for the game to play. So anyway, let's get into this. So first off, let's talk about, Activision sending out this apology. Now, this happened like a couple of weeks ago now, that Activision came out saying, you know what, we are sorry to the players. We are sorry to the way the state of Vanguard is right now. We're going to try to do better. And it's just nice to hear. It's just nice to hear that so many people have been having complaints about games, the way that they're launched. I mean, whatever it's, either it's Anthem or Fallout 76 or, anything else, Vanguard, Battlefield 2042, recent examples, and how these games are launched and released. My gosh, a simple saying, you know what, we're sorry, we're gonna do better. Now, don't get me wrong, it's just a sorry. We'll wait. Words can only take you so far. Actions speak louder than words. Is Activision going to actually make their game better? We'll wait and see. We'll see what happens. Maybe Modern Warfare 2, whatever, is going to be a great game. Who the hell knows? When it comes to actually delivering good quality content for gamers at the beginning of a launch of a game, for some reason is just dying out. For some reason, that's a dying art to release a game that's amazing, somewhat flawless when it comes to the way the game is working out, and not as much bugs as, you know, what games are released nowadays. That's a dying art. That really is. Games nowadays release in the most buggy mess, trying to push them out there to, you know, make whatever quota they need to make, or, you know, whatever sales they need to make, and be damned everything else. We'll fix the game later. I don't know why it's gone down that route. I think gamers as a whole have just been really lowering their standards when it comes to video games, and that's including myself, because I'm the schmuck that bought 2042 in the current state that that game is at. However, I will give Activision the fact that they said that they were sorry with the way that Vanguard was released. Now, I didn't buy Vanguard. I've been seeing content creators out there that make content on the game, but the simple fact that they came out and said sorry about it, I can respect, and I just look at EA and DICE going, you schmucks over there can't say sorry for the content that you delivered. You're over here trying to figure out how you can make the game free to play to make as much money as possible. You can't spare enough time to say, hey, you know what, gamers? We're sorry with the content that we released to you. We apologize, and we will damn sure let you know that we're going to do better from here on out. We can't get that from DICE or EA whatsoever. So, anyway, let's get into this next conversation about Battlefield 2042 has had a huge issue when the game launched with bot farming. Now, it was a huge issue that they were trying to stamper out. You know, the way that the progression works in 2042, especially for new players, it does take a long time to get up to the ranks, you know, ranking up through everything, trying to get on the locks for weapons, getting, you know, different equipment pieces and stuff like that. Even some of the operators that they have, you have to reach a certain rank to get to them. It's definitely sluggish leveling system. That's kind of what a day is. You have to grind and grind and grind. Well, in the beginning of this game with Portal, players were able to create these bot farming you know, game modes to where you could just rank through the system up pretty fast, get attachments unlocked pretty fast, and EA and DICE said, know what, we need to shut that S down. We need to get this out of here. We're gonna, you know, tamper down XP gains and stuff like that in Portal, which actually drove a lot of people away from Portal. People didn't want to play Portal because you're not gaining XP. You're not unlocking anything for the base game with all-out warfare. So people just stopped playing Portal, or, you know, less amount of people were playing in Portal, to where the classic, you know, Battlefield 1942 and 3 and Bad Company and stuff like that. So people were just kind of driven away from it. Well, EA and DICE were saying, you know what, let's increase some of the XP gain over time and stuff like that, to where players are able to gain more XP through Portal, because they're wanting to make this big draw of getting players back in. They had this whole thing shutting down the bot farming. However, they released this zombie game mode in Portal to where they're pretty much by themselves. The EA and DICE created a bot farming mode with this zombie mode that they had to take down within 2 days of its launch. And it just makes me wonder, on one hand, you're saying in bot farming, but on the other hand, I don't know how you guys don't check your stuff before launching, and you created bot farm on your own. The left does not know what the right hand is doing, or just, it makes me so frustrated to know that this billion-dollar company and franchise, and it just seeing the unprofessionalism or just the lack of giving a damn about the product or the community that you've created around this product, and actually delivering on something that's well received, well done, and it just makes me frustrated. Like, it just, you look at any corporation, any multi-million-dollar corporation or company that sells a product, you're wanting to make sure that product is well maintained, well delivered to the customers, so you have repeat customers and great reviews over that. For some reason, when it comes to EA and DICE and releasing 2042, you are completely just demolishing everything that I guess the Battlefield community, you know, held dear to the franchise. Now, they can go to other, you know, Battlefield games and stuff like that. That's why Battlefield 5 is having such a resurgence of new players and stuff like that. But for the newest product to be just such a train wreck and dumpster fire and Titanic, it just makes me so disappointed in what I guess EA and DICE have become when it comes to delivering a decent, well-done product. Lastly, let's talk about this. 2042, apparently they're wanting to make free-to-play. This is Tom Henderson's reporting that apparently 2042, go figure this, has lost about 90% of its player base. I think apparently from all systems, supposedly this is the rumor, between all systems, consoles and PC, only about 50,000 people are playing this game. 50,000 people between all consoles and PC playing this game. That blows me away from knowing of how many sales. Hercules, what are you doing? Get out of my trash, my dog. Are playing this game. That really does show you the quality of game that you purchased out to where, or that you developed, to where you celebrate the sales, the multi-million-dollar sales from Battlefield 2042 because of how bad of a product you release that you lose 90% of the player base within just a few months of this game's release from its launch. That's insane to see. Well, EA and DICE are going, look at this, going, you know what, man, we just don't have the player base. We have people that bought the game, even though some people have been returning them, but we need to make money. We need to make that green. We got plans to make cosmetics because we have, all these operators that nobody asked for. We got to find some way to do it. Well, the rumor is from Tom Henderson is that they're going to be making some Portal free to play. You can't do Hazard Zone because it's like less than 100 people apparently play Hazard Zone. Just a pile of garbage that mode was. I can't believe this entire game was built around Hazard Zone. But supposedly they're trying to make Battlefield 2042 free to play. Here's my thing about this entire thing. You already have issues with Portal. Portal's already having issues because of XP gain and EA and DICE wanting to, kind of destroy the progression system in Portal, even though Portal should be the big drive because it's bringing in all this old content that players enjoyed and loved from the old, from other Battlefield games within the franchise. There's no way in the world, currently right now, with the way the game sets between bugs and so many different issues, legacy systems, and I'm not just talking about the scoreboard, I'm talking about so many other things considered under the legacy umbrella. I mean, that's voice chat, that's so many other things that apparently they didn't want to release in this game. They have to fix that stuff. Like, you're not going to be drawing in players because 2042 is free to play without actually fixing the base issues that are happening within this game that people have issues with. It's not just the scoreboard. Like, I'm going to tell you right now, this launch of, in March, they're wanting to, launch, hey, here's a scoreboard that looks like absolute ass. That's not going to be bringing in players. That's not the big drive for me to bring me back into 2042 is not some ass scoreboard that you're like, hey, you know what, here's a legacy thing. Hopefully this will bring back players. That's not it whatsoever. The main function of this game is just not fun. And it's funny to know, just a couple of days ago, somebody was pointing out Battlefield 5 has some great infantry combat loops that players love, and that's the one thing that's really lacking in 2042 is that the infantry combat is just absolute trash. The game needs so many reworks because it was worked around a system that just does not work in this game. It needs to go back to its roots, but for some reason EA and DICE saw that did not make enough money that they want to make, and they want to copy off of the Call of Duty franchise and not be their own damn thing. When it comes to free-to-play and Battlefield 2042, it's most likely going to happen. But as somebody that paid for this game, and it's absolute ass of a game that it is right now, and absolute trash, the Titanic that we're watching sink, I just feel like such a sucker buying this game, knowing that nobody gave a damn from what it seems when this game got launched. It was all about how much money we can make of it, how many cosmetic purchases we can get off of it, and the gameplay be damned, but we'll fix it on later down the line. I just don't think EA and DICE counted on the amount of people that were going to leave this game till now. They didn't think that 90% of its player base that was going to leave within a couple of months of the game's launch, and they're seeing how much of a trash fire this game is now. I don't think free-to-play is going to bring players back. I don't. I truly don't. I think people are seeing this move, if it goes to free-to-play, which I don't know how soon it's going to be going free-to-play, but I think a lot of people are going to be seeing this as the scumbag move that it is, that they're not delivering a good product to people that paid full price for the damn thing, that they just want to make it free-to-play to try to bring in players to make money off of microtransactions. The game is garbage, EA and DICE is garbage, and they need to fix this stuff. Now, I'm not talking about the developers, because I know there's a lot of developers out there that probably put a lot of heart and soul into this game, even though the game plays like absolute ass. But my gosh, man, actually give a damn about the product that you're going to release, and not just the dollar bills that you're going to be making over the product that you release. Anyway, that was my rant for today. I'm glad that we had this little conversation about it. Again, I just don't understand why this game is out in the way that it is, where you have a company, a billion-dollar company of Activision that's now going to be bought by Xbox, or Microsoft, I guess, Activision Blizzard, but they actually released an apology for the mess that they created. They released an apology for Vanguard in its current state, but EA and DICE cannot swallow their pride and do the exact same thing and acknowledge that they did something that pissed people off. Anyway, it's just a mess, man. It truly is. It makes me so disappointed. And honestly, I think with the amount of people out there, including myself, this is probably going to be the last Battlefield that I pick up. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Where do you go from here? Now, EA and DICE games are known to be, they'll release in a garbage form. I talk about Battlefront 2 and Battlefield 5. Recently with, their rocky, really trashy start, but they were able to fix them on later on down the line. Those games were given a shot. I don't think people are going to be giving 2042 the same shot that those two games got, but let me know in the comments below, guys. Thanks for sticking around. Thank you for joining me on this conversation that we were having, but just wanted to talk about it, give you guys my full opinion and feelings about this entire thing. And you got a little bit of Hercules just kind of hanging out, digging through my trash. What an ass. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please have a great rest of the day. I look forward to talking to you guys all next time.